So this is Golden Heroes, Session 2, Episode 1, The Mirrors of Shallot. This is Season 2. Season 1 was the Year That Never Was. Having defeated the Queen of Nightmares, dropping a nuclear bomb on the O2, killing her, assassinating an ancient being that was pretending to be the Prime Minister, one of Odin's ravens, Chameleon. The heroes saved time, as it were, returned to the now. But as they stepped through the portal to the now, they found that they were in a vast white expanse. In the foreground, there was a lady sitting painting with a kind of a brick wall behind her with a mirror, a window, sorry. As you got closer, she introduced herself as the Lady of Shallot. And she had said to you, I believe she was waiting for you to assist in finding her son, Lancelot.
Okay.
And that's where we left it. Lancelot. In the poem, the Lady of Shallot is looking through a portal, looking backwards in a portal to Camelot. And I believe she mentions, I think she sees Lancelot in the poem.
So is there a...
So imagine the scene in Matrix. And it zooms off, and Neo and what's his name's called? The other guy with the glasses. Morpheus are sitting on sofas. So it's a bit like that. Zooms off, and you're in this like white realm.
What's it like, the training room where it's just like complete white?
Like,
and the only thing that's coloured is the characters.
So if you Google the Mirror of Shallot, and there's a picture of her painting, and she's looking through. That is what you see. You see that mirror, that image. I think can't remember if we put it in here.
So she's actually painting currently.
Yes, and it's almost like you're looking at that photograph, that painting. She's the right one. So it's the Wikipedia one. She's wearing a red dress. She's got hands behind her head, and she's painting. Let me get that one up because they're all.
Is this the?
If you go to which painting is it? It's that one. So it's "I am half sick of shadows," said the Lady of Shallot, at the 1915 Art Gallery of Ontario.
There's a lot of them have shown up. I'm just trying to work out which one it is.
So if you go to the actual, I should have grabbed this one. The Lady of Shallot painting in Wikipedia.
Lady of Shallot.
Yeah. I'm going to get. Maybe I'll do it this way. Let's see if I can get the image.
Red dress in front of a tapestry.
Yeah, and her hands are behind her back.
Yeah, I've got you.
So it's that one. With a checkered floor. I am half sick of shadows, said the Lady of Shallot.
Oh, right, okay. Which is fine because that's none of the pictures I was looking at.
Okay.
It's not one I'd seen before, to be perfectly honest. always been that one in the boat.
Yeah. So that's what you can see. You can see everything outside of the painting is white. And she's sitting there dicking around with her tapestry, and there is a mirror, kind of mirror, a window, and the window is showing Camelot, and Lancelot and Guinevere are sitting on grass, in front of Camelot.
Excuse me.
Not that we necessarily know it's them at the moment.
No, but this painting was done in 1918, 1915. I can't remember the exact date. 1915. So everyone but Mercury Man
1915, yeah.
would kind of Arthur's. If you're from the UK, you probably know a chunk of Arthur stuff or have an opinion on Arthur. So whether you think Arthur's X, Y, or Z, you have an opinion. So this may have popped up in your thinking about Arthur, and obviously hearing about the mirrors of Shallot.
Got you. My lady, how do we find Lancelot?
Call me Rhea.
My lady Rhea.
No, it's just Rhea. You can Google that if you want, and I'll take that as a dice roll. Rather than you do an intelligence roll, you can Google it. R-H-E. Ow, cramp. Hang on. Ow.
How do you spell that?
Just as I'm trying to spell that with lots of O's. R-H-E-A. Oh, that was just as I was getting to the E's and the A's.
The goddess of the ancient Greek religion.
Yeah. The ancient Greek goddess.
Mother
I'm Rhea.
goddess, the Titaness, daughter of the earth goddess Gaia and the sky god Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, Rhea, I am Sally. This is
Although
Vlog.
somebody must have been having a joke. Her dad's Uranus, and she's the Rhea. I'm sure those Greeks have got a terrible sense of humour.
You could say it's a dire sense of humour.
Yes,
Ooh.
yeah. Yeah, gears not doesn't work. Anyway, so yes, you have been called to assist me. I am currently unable to leave my realm.
Okay, the realm she's in it's this speak straight. It's a room we're in, yeah.
Yes, it's the white expanse, and it's just there's nothing, absolutely nothing apart from her in this kind of weird. It's almost like it's a diorama. It's like somebody's taken the painting, created the 3D diorama. She's sitting on it, and there's nothing else. The walls kind of end. It's like you've walked into a 3D of the painting. If you walk around the back, it's just it's like you're walking around the set of a TV show. So the back is just wood.
It's like canvas.
Yes, canvas. It's like, so it's only the front you can see, not the back. It's like an actual painting. Despite when you look through that mirror, well, that wall, the window, you can see movement. There is movement there, but you can't when you get around the back. It's just a backlot tour kind of thing, or the back of a painting.
And we've still got the Antikythera device, haven't we?
Yes. I did watch Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and they've stolen the same.
Haven't seen it. Don't
Oh,
spoil it.
fuck. Not happy. They nicked my idea that I've been using the last 20, 30 years. Thieving sod. It's a great film.
It
We
is
could have
good,
done
yeah.
with it 20 years ago because Harrison Ford's 80 and it's not that believable running around as an 8-year-old pretending to be a 65-year-old. It doesn't. What he's able to do doesn't. He'd be dead. But I mean, that side we enjoyed it. As a blast, it was better than Crystal Skull.
Wouldn't be difficult.
I did enjoy Crystal Skull. Could have done without the Romans. Romans? What are they called? The Russians. Anyway,
It's been that long since I've watched. To be honest, it's been
Yeah.
that
I would
long
have to
since I've
watch it
watched
again,
any of
yeah.
them.
they're classic. Anyway, that's I'm still bitter. They stole my idea. So she says, "I'm Rhea. My
yes,
mirrors,
go on.
my mirrors are closed.
And
That can mean only one thing.
means that they sort of like the temporal because weren't we using mirrors to
Yes.
travel around
So
before?
initially, a plot device. You
Can't
found a
remember the
mirror.
name. I can't remember
A
the
mirror
name.
slot. You could simply enter one of the mirrors and then go to either the Tower of Jezreel, and that had a link to the farm. But it was that was the kind of the nexus state, the nadir point. But they were like conduits, magical teleportation stones as a plot device, and it grew a bit. And the mirrors of Shallot have become a thing, but recently they have effectively become turned off. Well, they were turned off. You couldn't enter and use the mirrors.
Yeah, I remember
She
Dad
says
telling us. Yeah.
the mirrors have been closed, which can mean only one thing.
And that is
War. War is coming.
in what manner?
The mirror realms, the mirror lands. I suspect somebody or something is going to assault the mirror lands.
I'm going to resist saying that sounds like shattering news, but yeah, I said I'm going to resist it. Not very well, but I did resist it.
I knew there was a reason I was renting your time and effort, Terry.
So she says, you must find Lancelot, for he is probably the only one that can help stop an impending war.
Where would we find him? Silly question, really, but where? Is there any idea you can give us as to where he is?
I don't know. I haven't spoken or seen Lancelot for centuries.
Oh boy.
I would guess I would start with Le Morte d'Arthur and see
King
what
Arthur,
you come up
isn't
with.
Who is this
Lem-
Arthur?
Is it
Arthur,
Lamort?
the once
Sorry.
and future king.
Arthur.
He was in reality, he simply was an ancient Briton who stopped the Saxons for a generation. Just a commander. Only his legend grew, and he went from a commander of forces that stopped the Saxons to somehow being an immortal king. Yes.
Yeah, it's
I
about
believe
right.
there's a legend in which Arthur may return and purge Britain of its enemies. And do you know what that would mean?
These would all be dead.
Lots of death.
He would probably reduce Kent to smoking ashes, because while Anglo-Saxons live in his country, he would simply wipe them out. what with him being an ancient Briton and not an Anglo-Saxon. He was not an Anglo-Saxon king. He was of Celtic, Roman.
I'm assuming he would have mystical powers, and able to. This is to you, Kevin. This isn't in character. Assuming he would be effectively.
Well,
he
he's
would have-
dead.
Yeah.
But yes, he possibly mystical powers.
If he's brought back, he's going to be not. He's going to be dead
Oh,
and
yeah.
not pissed and not
I
dead.
did do that in a game once. That I did have a running game in which people brought back King Arthur, and he did burn Kent to the ground to kill off all the Saxons and the Anglo-Saxons because he hated them. Absolute disaster. What are you doing? Well, they're Anglo-Saxons. I'm
Those
king of the ancient
Anglo-Saxons.
Britons. Yeah,
Those Anglo-Saxons, they don't like it up 'em.
they don't. I send them all back. I'm of Norman descent, so I'm okay. But I'd send all the Anglo-Saxons back. We could clear out Kent in an afternoon. Anyway.
What about East and West Sussex?
Oh, that's up north. That's anything beyond Watford. That's that's north. You get to the Watford Gap, and we say that because the Watford Gap is the part of the UK where the accents change, or the dialect change from north to south. There was a study decades ago, and that they found that was the Watford Gap is that moment, that area is where the two what they call the two parts of the UK change from north to south.
Still populated by Saxons, though. That's why they're called Sussex.
Yep. So yeah, he'd take out, it'd just be the Welsh and maybe a couple of Cornishmen that'd be left.
That's a very interesting take, actually. Yes, I might steal that idea. Anyway,
Because King of the Ancient Britons fought the Saxons. Clearly, not going to be happy. The Saxons, the once and few. You don't want Arthur coming back. He's not going to be happy, chappy. Really not going to be happy.
Yes. Okay. Back on track.
So yes. So she says, I would start with Le Mort d'Arthur.
And you mean the book or the
book,
event?
The book by. I don't want to say Chaucer, do I? I want to say.
I hate it when I do this. I can't think now.
Not Tennyson.
Come on, I will find it for you.
What's
Mallory.
Mallory, that's it, Mallory.
Thomas Mallory.
Thomas Mallory. I would start with that. But you must find him as soon as possible. And when you find him, let him know there's a war coming.
It's the death of Arthur, isn't it? Le Mort d'Arthur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Wikipediaing it. I'm not that much. I'm not that smart.
What you're trying to discover is where Lancelot could be. So it might be worth starting with where Lancelot is buried.
Not. Okay, so how?
Look
Can we
around
actually-
this white space with this nothing around and say, where are we going to find this book?
You must return to your own realm, I believe. And she looks down. I know the key of time is that currently inside your body, Mercury Man. I can't remember where you hold it because you had a nuclear bomb in there at one point.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we did that.
One of you had it. One of you carrying it.
That's a good point. It was one of us. I don't think Vlad had ate it, same as he'd eaten the bomb, but
indigestion. What happened to the O2?
We've got it.
She says,
Yes.
I believe you will be able to use the Archimedes clock to leave this realm, as it also brought you here.
Yes. Well,
start with Le Mort d'Arthur, and when you have a location, I would use a Milong, or the Milong, to assist you in finding him.
And that is what exactly?
Milon.
And it's a Buddhist mirror. It enables you to see the past.
Good lord.
A Buddhist mirror.
The one that works is in Tibet.
Yeah,
So we're going to Tibet.
Sorry, a Milong is a Buddhist mirror which can see into the past.
Milong. Let me double check whether it's O or UN.
It looks like MELONG.
Mm.
So
Germanic mirrors, yeah.
Yep.
It's
what
long.
Milong, yeah. Milong.
Yeah.
if we find where Lancelot is, what are we to do then? Just
I would presume when you have located his burial site, that will give you the last known location of Lancelot by using the mirror to look back at that moment. It gives you a better point of finding him because you can see where he was,
and then we should be able to
and you
use
get
the
follow that back forward to where you currently is. She glances over to the mirror, the window, and points through. And she points at the knight in shining armor, sitting on the grass with a lady. He says, "That is Lancelot." I would suggest you take a good look at him.
This is some sort of animated painting of him. Animated.
Yes. Yeah.
Shall we say animated image?
Yeah.
This isn't him.
No.
okay, a GIF.
Still, it's her son, so I'll take her word for it that he looks like that.
I will take a good look. And,
Yep. So you can all take a good look, and it's
Just a matter of interest. Would we have our phones with us?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just take a picture of
Yes. Yeah. All
I
that.
hope it works, yeah.
it. I'll pull out my iPhone, zoom in, and take a picture of him.
Is that what I love? Modern technology. Yep. You double check your phone, and there is an image there.
There is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, you realise you're looking at the that particular painting. So, worst case scenario, you just need to find that particular painting.
Yeah.
And zoom in.
Yeah.
I'm that serious. Looking at the wrong one. I don't know where it is actually. Where is the painting? Oh, so it was donated by Henry Tate. So it must be in the Tate Gallery. No, that's the other one. So where is that? Where is it currently? Blah, 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 blah. Painting was sold. Oh, it's currently in the Art Gallery of Ontario.
To Canada again.
It's in Canada. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. So you do notice that what she's actually weaving are silver threads.
Okay, can I take a picture of her, what she's weaving?
Yeah.
what we're weaving, just so we can have a look at this at a later point. Do you mind us doing that, or is she
By all means, in the painting, there's so let's see.
free?
She's confined to a tower, weaving a tapestry, viewing the outside world only through the reflection in the large mirror in the background.
So is Lancelot in this painting, or
No, that particular painting shows effectively one line or an early point in the tale.
right?
That's showing a man and a woman, perhaps the two lovers lately wed, referred to in terms of poem. The scene is set shortly before an image of Lancelot appears in the mirror, enticing the lady out of her tower to her death.
Okay.
Later on in the poem.
And obviously we don't want that.
No. The boats, so the looms that she's got on her tapestry represent the boats that she's going to die in later.
Okay, I'm going to try and take note of this, because in the way these things tend to work out, if it's foretelling the future, we're not going to be. Who's to say we're going to be involved?
You don't know.
Go back.
So, she says yes. So she's also given you the name Rhea. She says, so that is your quest. And the reason why I know there is a war coming is because Dionysus is dead. And I am trapped here and unable to save him.
Do you know why you're trapped in this place?
Somebody or something is attempting to assault the Mirror Lands.
So you could leave this place if the mirror was working.
I was the power of the mirrors. I could have left if I wanted to, I'm sure.
Okay.
I am once again confined to my tower. The Mirrorlands are a dimension which exists between worlds, in the folds of time and space, a shadow between the stars. The mirrors simply allow to travel between 2 points. The mirrors have a twin. Each mirror has a twin, which actually have space folded between them, portals through the Mirrorlands. I'm not going to read that bit out.
Okay, so we still need to find where Lancelot is, for starters.
So,
Yep. So you can Google Dionysus, Rhea.
Yeah.
And that may throw up other names or
unless it's god of winemaking, orchards, fruit, vegetation, fertility.
I'm going to have some reading to do, I think, because these Greek myths don't half go on a bit.
Also known as Bacchus.
Bacchus. Yep. So I think he's the.
Is that the Roman?
That's the
Yes.
Greek name.
Greek's
Isn't
Bacchus.
isn't Bacchus the sort of like the a pleasure or something like that?
Yeah.
Debauchery or whatever.
Yeah.
I believe you may know Dionysus by another name.
Okay, here we go.
Bran.
Bran. Is he something to do with Celtic mythology?
Yes, he was the king in the lost kingdom of Benoit, which was in fact the Mirror Lands.
Ooh. Oh, hang on a minute. Wasn't Benoit where Lancelot came from?
Yes, in one aspect, one version. But yes, Lancelot was born in the lost kingdom of Benoit to Bran, but brought up and raised in the fairy realm by the Lady of the Lake.
So Dionysus is Lancelot's father.
Yes.
Wow.
Rhea is also known as the goddess who brought Dionysus back to life. This told
Yep.
that Rhea sewed Dionysus back into one piece after the Titans sent by Hera tore Dionysus apart.
So Dionysus is dead again.
Dionysus is dead again.
Again, so he died, and she sewed him back together again.
Oh, right, okay. Stitch
So
up by the sounds of it.
there is another being that is linked to that called Zagreus. Zagreus.
Zagreus.
So he's kind of seen as an aspect of Dionysus that, when he died the first time, split from him. So Zagreus may or may not be your Lancelot.
Ah.
Well,
right. Oh.
Well, we need to find. I think we need to find this book first of all.
So you can, on your phone, once you get to where you can get 5G again, you can Google it and skim.
Zagreus is the son of Zeus and Persephone.
Yeah. I should have texted my daughter. There's a massive spider in the living room. I've put a bowl over it to stop it going anywhere. Can you get rid of it once you're done, please? I'll go and kill it there.
Sorry, I did that.
Yeah, so yeah, they're
go on.
just, we got a vacuum cleaner that just sucks them up, burn them to death.
I'll put a game that. It with fire.
So the actual main myth seems to be, or she's indicating that it's the Mort d'Arthur it's the main thing to begin with. So how would you like to proceed? Is there any other questions you'd like to ask her before flipping the switch and you just appearing back in the now of Earth?
Well, let's see. We need to, okay, so we want to find at least the burials. We want to try and look. Later find this Buddhist mirror to look back at either the burial site or the death of Lancelot.
Yeah, so once you know where the burial site is, you can use the mirror to look back
to the burial or something like that.
Yeah, what you might not be able to do is take the mirror out of Tibet. So it's probable you need to know all the information before going to Tibet.
Right, yeah.
Right. So, okay. And perhaps this book might give us clues as to where the burial site might be.
Yes. Could give you a link. I mean, you could simply, when you get back to your own time, simply Google it. Because Google will have a similar rabbit hole.
Yeah.
to climb down.
So to that end, I'm just trying to. I don't know if I have any more questions.
Well, yes, I mean, Rhea, if and when we locate Lancelot, how does he then attempt to restore the power of the mirrors?
Because he will know whether Carter Phyllis. No, he will know where. I believe you call him the Wandering Jew, Joseph Cartophilius, the last of the first men.
Yike.
I believe he knows where he is. Or he has in fact been travelling with him. You know how it gets as us immortals kind of we permeate, generate, what's the word I'm looking for? We kind of circle around and meet each other.
And what does this wandering Jew have to do with the situation?
I believe he knows of a gate, a physical gate to enter a realm that borders the Mirrorlands. You can enter the Mirrorlands from. Unlike, what was that other chap's name? Thomas the Rhymer, who was able to enter the Feylands as he found a gate in the Edian Hills. Thomas Joseph Cartophilius
I think that's what you said. Yeah.
Has been around longer. He's been around longer than everyone on Earth has ever been. He is of the first men. You've never heard this term
No.
at all. Your understanding of Mercury Man, however, sort of rings a bell. There's supposed to be a first group of humanity, as it were, somewhere out in the cosmos, which were the first beings, sometimes referred to as the first men. And it's these beings wandered the Earth, wandered the Earth's, but it's kind of an urban legend myth kind of thing. It's a really old tale that nobody's ever seen one. It's just kind of a tale to tell in bars in Beetlejuice or other places you've been.
Okay. Well, I'll assume the others know that much as well. Sorry, the Wandering Jew. Did you say?
Yeah, referred to as the Wandering Jew.
Does he have any other name?
His name's Joseph Cartophilius, the Wandering Jew. That maybe not be his real name, but that is a name that he has adopted over time. One of the first men, and a holy man, the last of the first men on Earth.
Okay. And where might this chap be found?
Lancelot knows him. Find Lancelot, find the Wandering Jew, find the doorway, save the universe. save the Mirrorlands. I mean, or maybe you just simply like a cheerleader to save.
No, well, we best get moving then. Let's say you friends.
Yeah. I'm just looking up the Wandering Jew.
Just wondering, can we easily come back here? Or I just can't remember what trouble, if
Yes.
any, we needed to do to come back here. If
That is a good point, because I don't remember dialing this location.
Look at Archimedes' clock.
Yep.
Look at Archimedes' clock, and there is a set of locations that there's some coordinates tapped in, that don't look, real. The 39th of Hungary, 1873.5 kind of thing. It's a weird set of coordinates that don't point to a specific date or time. It actually let's say, it'll point to the missing 5 days between the Julian and Gregorian calendars.
I think I'll take a photo.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's how I find my car. Take a photo of the car. See ya.
Oh dear. Well,
I hope that's helpful.
Feet up. I was hoping for a rest after that last shebang. Never mind.
You leave my car out of it. Good honest motor.
Well, something tells me we've got some reading to do and possibly a trip to Canada.
That's only to the Canada trip. You've got a picture of the photograph. You've got a photograph of the painting, and that unless you wanted to zoom in on it, it's not essential to go to Canada. That's just current location.
Ah, okay.
Don't want to give you a red herring there.
Okay.
Trip to Canada. Yeah, it's the picture. Oh, okay.
Wandering Jew.
Yep.
Is this the guy that was taunted Jesus on the way to the cross?
Yes.
Okay, I am onto the right.
Yep. In DC Comics, I think Alan Moore indicated that the Phantom Stranger might be the Wandering Jew.
Yeah, because he was then his sins, he was banished to Earth.
Wander the Earth, yeah.
Under the Earth and forever, basically, till the second coming.
What did he do?
This is from Wikipedia. It's basically the Wandering Jew is a mythical mortal man whose legend began to spread in Europe in the 13th century. In the original legend, the Jew who taunted Jesus on the way to the crucifixion was then cursed to walk the earth until the second coming. The exact nature of a wanderer's indiscretion varies from version to version of the tale. As do the character aspects of his character. Sometimes he is said to be a shoemaker or a tradesman. Other times he's a doorman or at the estate of Pontius Pilate.
So he suffered a curse, but it turns out he might be necessary to save the day.
Mm-hmm.
Intriguing.
Does that mean the we're trying to stop or the war is coming?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. None of that made up shit. Other made up shit.
It's my made up shit, not your made up shit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Oh, don't be absurd.
Don't be ridiculous.
Okay.
So Okay. So we got
Do you want to,
some.
you can regroup. You can. Well, where would you like to go? First of all, you can click a button and turn up. You can almost use the Antikythera device as, unless it's annoying, as a kind of a mini teleportation device to allow you to move around quicker, rather than having to make you fly places.
It's like a
Understood.
plan. I mean, let's face it, we are superheroes of some sort.
Yes.
Some sort.
Well, also this is a
So. Just sit there and
ancient relic.
crack my knuckles. You know.
Yeah. It's also this is an ancient magical relic by. So it seems.
Yep.
Um,
But at some point, it has to be returned to 1902.
right.
Remember to do that when we finish with it.
Yeah. At some point, it will naturally return to 1902 and to the Roman galleon off the coast of Antikythera.
Right.
Hmm.
All right. Should we hop back to the now? Or
Does anybody have
Where
anywhere
would
better
you
to
like
be than
to
my
go?
apartment?
Well, I'm out
I'm
hiding.
I'm washing my hair. I can't come. Yeah, so you pop straight back to
Assuming you've
your
nuked
apartment.
my lockup, haven't you? Or my lockup got nuked, didn't it?
So yes, that is the case. The news, as you get back to the UK, the news is all about a limited nuclear bomb in the O2. Prime Minister was assassinated by unknown assailants. Strike Force has captured some crazes from France, and a degree of normalcy has sort of returned, if that's what you can call it. But it appears that you are not, you weren't involved, or the reporting is that you aren't involved.
We're not identified, is what you actually
Identified. Yes, you weren't identified.
Well, that's good.
Sounds like we got away with that then, lads. That's what it is.
indeed. Well,
And it's typical, isn't it? You save the world and no one knows about it.
Nobody wants. Yeah, you get no recognition.
Yeah.
There's a meme, whatever,
Meme.
of the little guy going, I've got. He gets a time travel device. I think I may have shared it. He goes, I've come back. I've killed Hitler as a baby, and they're like, well, I don't know who this Hitler is, but this guy just said he's killed a baby, and he ends up in jail, which is quite funny.
Yeah, we better not go into too much detail about telling that story, had we?
It'll be Himmler. If you go back and kill Hitler, you come back, you go, I've killed Hitler, but Himmler history pushes in another crazy, and Himmler is the next one on the list to be mad. And if you kill him, it'll be Goebbels, it'll be Goering, it'll be Bormann, that has to happen. So
That has to get, yeah.
Yeah. So some things you can change, and history goes, yeah, whatever. But there are some things that cannot be changed, only minor details.
I get you. Yeah.
It's like throwing a stone into a river. So the water is flowing towards you. You throw a stone in the river, a tiny little ripple happens, and time continues. If you throw a huge boulder, then there's a bigger splash, but water still flow around it and continue. You have to block. You have to do a massive big blockage, and you've had one of those massive big blockage in which the water is diverted elsewhere, and therefore you get a second timeline. But it has to be huge. There was a singularity bomb that was detonated, and that created a collapsing timeline that was eventually collapsed. But yes,
Okay, doke.
So you return back to your time. You're in the apartment flat, or your home,
Shower.
and you
Yes.
you can Google the arse off of this
Yes.
quest.
That's exactly what I'm.
I'll leave you to that,
Okay.
Vlad. Yeah, I'm going to freshen up. Bye.
Or okay. I'll stop googling away. So does that mean we can sort of? Does that mean we can actually Google?
Yep. So hidden within Google are the bits that I have picked that are pertinent.
Hmm. So. Arthur sentences Guinevere to burn Lancelot's rescue party. I really need to read this. Refamiliarize myself with the whole Arthur legend.
There's loads of crazy bits that everyone adds bits, takes bits away.
It's all glossed over in the the modern portrayals, if you know what I mean.
So
How long do we need to? Because there's no way we can obviously do this in real time.
Well, they leave to pursue Lancelot in France. Gawain's mortally injured in a duel with Lancelot.
So essentially, Lancelot says that initially he wants to be buried with what's that person's name? With Galahad. Galahaut. Galehehaut. Later he says he wants to be buried with Arthur and Guinevere, but Arthur and Guinevere are buried in the Lyoness, the Kingdom of the Isle of Apples. So he's probably buried where his original idea was, which is this Galahaut or Galahad. So scrolling down, died an illness. So he was going to be born. His idea was to be buried. Initially, what he wished. So initially, he wished to be buried next to Galahad or Galahaut. He later then said he wanted to be buried next to his king and queen. But he had made a vow to be buried at Joyous Gard next to Galahad. So Joyous Gard takes you to, in essence, two places. Bamberg Castle.
I'm with you. Northumberland.
Northumberland. But it also takes you to Chateau de Jerus Gard in Brittany.
Cool.
Not Alwick Castle. Bamberg and Chateau de Joyous Gard.
Okay. So
I like the sound of the Bamberg Castle, built on an ancient Celtic fort. Well, Celtic Britain.
Babenberg Castle. So Babenberg Castle is, in fact, I believe, the what's his name? Bernard Cornwell's books about Uhtred of Babenberg. I think it's
Last Kingdom.
The Last Kingdom. That's Baben. I'm pretty sure that's Babenberg.
Yeah, it is.
So
fortress on the sea.
Yes. Yeah. So also that then links to the Warlord Chronicles by
also by
Bernard Cornwell. in which the whole saga is being narrated by Derval, who is in fact Derval Gardan, the ancient god that was a precursor to Arthur. It was a Derval Gardan that drew the Avank from the sea and built the ark that sits at Glass Tower. As an aside,
Okay.
only his Lancelot is a bit of a nonce, really. His books, bit of a ponce. But excellent set of books. The Warlord Chronicles are really good. I quite enjoyed the moment when he does a Grail quest, when he takes some fellow knights and they get across the Menai Straits to Anglesey, to the seat of the Druids, and they dig up one of 13 treasures of Great Britain. And this is the Cauldron of Dianarch, which can be filled by for the magic to work. It has to be filled with the fluid that men need but cannot drink. Urine.
Oh, right, okay. Well, technically, you can drink. No, I'm not going to go there, but we'll know.
But yeah, so anyway, that's
Yeah.
Minor
Something
research.
completely different.
Yeah, drift off. So yeah, so you're looking at two places, potentially either Bamberg Castle,
Yeah.
or Chateau de Joyeuse Garde, Chateau of Joyeuse Garde in Brittany. You're looking for two graves,
Okay.
Yes.
Galahad's and
Presumably,
Lancelot's.
it's meant to be Galahad, isn't it? But
Yeah, it's Galahad. How they pronounce it?
the
Galahad.
spelling is the
Yeah.
French, probably. Well, my money's on the Northumberland visit first.
Yes. Well,
If only for the fact it's
As
in
a
the UK.
minor aside, there is a third location. There's a 13th century Sardinian castle named after legend, the castle of Genosia Guardia. Genosia Guardia. A medieval castle in something province of South Sardinia, Italy.
Which admittedly doesn't
Genosia,
jump out to me.
Genosia, what?
Gioiosa.
Guardia.
It's probably the Italian of Joyous Guard.
Yes.
As you're kind of googling this, you kind of read through this segment, and there's like no, nothing jumps out. And part two, you get to the two elements. First element is following the wars between this particular person and that particular person. The cast assumed a military function. The document shows occupied temporarily by Bran Salona Doria, husband of Eleanor of Arborea. And all what jumps out there is Bran.
Which is what they said. The
King,
lady said it was
right.
an alternate name for
Lancelot's father, who had the kingdom of Benoic, was called Bran. And the other thing you know about Sardinia is the there was a documentary proposing that the people of Atlantis came to Sardinia. There's a distinct odd archaeological ruins on Sardinia that kind of jump out as being different, and they are very similar to those that are in remnants of those that are in Santorini. There is of the many proposals for Atlantis, the people of Atlantis going to Sardinia is one of the theories.
Oh, is there any Professor What's it? Is there any traction to the theory that Lancelot might have been an Atlantean? It's going to be a no then because he's thinking about it.
You don't know.
Right. Okay. It's either that or just giving him an idea.
We should see.
I think Atlantis was
Would at least
further
descended
back in
from it.
time.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, if he
Atlantis would exist back in time, and it's through the Straits of Gibraltar. You turn right. There's a swamped area in Spain where they have found a town village with concentric rings in the marshlands there. I think that ticks the book for the actual location of Atlantis, but the myth about the volcano and the destruction, Santorini, ticks the book for where the destructive element of that.
Yeah.
But through the Pillars of Hercules, that's Gibraltar. Turn right, Spain. It's not the Sahara thing. It's not the Eye of the Sahara. My money's on the Spanish one. I quite like that. That ticks boxes.
Mm.
And I've used it in several adventures, so that's what it is. It's written in stone now.
No, it's written in your notebook. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right.
So lots to digest and think about.
Mm.
You have three locations in essence. Joyous Guard, which is either, where do we say, Bamberg Castle, Chateau de Joyous Guard,
Yeah.
or as a wild card, which is the Castle of Genosia Guard.
So, once Sally's finished her shower and whatnot, guess we'll present our findings so far. Yes, could be one of these three sites.
Wow.
So the Bamberg Castle was built on a former location of a Celtic Briton fort known as Dingardy.
Yeah.
And
Sardinia's got quite a lot of ruins. Sorry, Ref, carry on.
Thomas Mallory actually participated in the Yorkish siege of the castle during the War of the Roses.
So,
Oh, that's a red flag.
But he also proposed Alwick Castle. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to give you four locations. Ignore Alwick Castle. It's not there. It's either Bamberg, Chateau de Joyous Guard, or the Genosan Guardia.
All right. Just a matter of interest. Do we have? You mentioned we have some sort of teleport device.
Yeah, you can use the Antikythera device as a sort of teleport, as a Deus Ex Machina to get around a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Unless it becomes really exciting, then you'll lose it.
Is the easiest thing to do? 3 locations, 3 of us. If we go,
You've only got one Antikythera device.
Yeah, don't think about splitting the team up because we'd all get, 2 of you'd get stuck somewhere.
Yeah, because clearly you get a phone call. Yeah, I've lost it. What? What? I don't know. I lost it in a card game. I'm really sorry.
well, it's the idea that we visit each of these locations physically, or I thought perhaps one idea was to use that Milong mirror to look into the past, try and find the.
The thing is, the Milong mirror only
one of those mirrors.
That's different to what I was talking about earlier. Yeah,
Sorry, what were you saying?
No, it's sort of like wasn't there a mirror before that we were going to use that she used? I don't know, maybe that's not what I was thinking of.
So there was potentially a working mirror in the ruins of the where's that place called? Westwich.
Okay.
So you know that Westwich had a Anderson Institute satellite office.
Yeah.
That there was a mirror there, but it's purely speculation as to whether it works or not. Given that all the others don't,
Well,
Okay.
just got to go and give it a try. Not going
That's
to get
covered in-
anywhere. Oh,
that's covered in trees, and
I mean- we need that if we've got the
Antikythera
device.
Or are you just wanting to take a quick look and see if it is working, Terry?
yeah. Probably worth a look.
Something tells me it's probably going to be on the way up to Northumbria anyway.
Yeah.
Or not a million miles out of the way.
No.
Okay. So we do physically want to visit these sites, not just. It's fine by me. I'm just trying to establish what our next course of action is going to be.
Well, surely we need to get one of these Buddhist mirrors, do we? And then we can always try using it on the photograph first.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work, we can perhaps head up to Bamber Castle. And then, nip into Westwich on the way.
Sounds good to me.
Because I don't remember Rhea saying that we've got to find one particular Belong. I'm assuming we can.
No, there is only the one Melong. So whilst Melong is also a term for a Buddhist mirror, the Melong is the single magical mirror that can look back in time.
Ah.
So we are looking for the Melong.
The Melong mirror.
Melong mirror.
If you have a copy of Chaosium's Children of Fear,
Yes.
it's mentioned in there.
So, and that would be helpful to try help us finding Lancelot.
Yes, because what you're essentially trying to do is you're tracing him. So you don't have Find My Lancelot app. So you've either got to spend time Googling sightings of Lancelot in the last 700 years, which are probably not going to be.
Yeah.
It's a needle in a haystack. Go back to where he was, where you last known location, and see if it's possible to trace him forward.
Okay.
So if we go so perhaps we should go to. Oh, do we know where this Buddhist mirror might be?
Well, where is Buddhist?
So there must, if it's a thing, there must be something on the interweb somewhere.
Yes, that's.
You can see if you can find something, but I will. Yeah, see if you can find anything. Otherwise, I will give you the rough location.
That lulled me into a full sense of security. The Melong brought up a thing called the Mirror, newspaper of the international Zoshen community. Well, that's not
of course.
Actual mirror.
The Daily Melong.
Yes.
The official newspaper on Facebook, blimey.
Okay.
Well, I'm not finding anything that mentions The Melon.
Tibet. Tibet, that's where it must be, in Tibet.
Bet. So in searching, you discover that it's linked to, and I've stolen this straight from Chaosium, so fuck them. It's linked to a 7th century monk called Hyun Sang. He, according to the Google searching you're doing, it says he wrote about a lake Danakosha, which is in India. It's in an ancient, it belongs to an ancient site of the kingdom of Gandhara, specifically the Andan Deri Stupa. It's in the Swat Valley.
What Valley?
So it's in a stupa of the Andan Deri in the Swat Valley.
And what's a stupa?
It's like
a bell-shaped thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like an Indian pyramid. It's like, it's the top bell. In the Mara Bharatal stupas are sort of like flying representations of Vimyana, I believe.
Yep.
My Indian mythology is not
It's
as good as it could be.
Yeah, and also, some of the Nazi flying saucers are.
Yeah.
Some people say is inspired by.
Well, it was powered by Vril, and the Vril Society existed. And the Nazi, so there's lots of weirdo stuff. Do you know about the Singularity Bomb? Would you know about the Singularity Bomb?
I do from your legacy notes, mate, yeah.
Okay, so was trying to think if Diamond Giza was involved in any way, shape, or form.
Not that you revealed in the notes.
Okay, so let's say loosely you're aware of a write-up on one of the forums about this potential singularity and the collapsing timeline in which a secondary Condorverse existed briefly before it collapsed back on itself. And in that timeline, that was when Adru, the charioteer of Brahma, took or created the so there's two, isn't there? There's the Brahma Ista, his super weapon. He found a way of creating it. He used part of the Ark of the Covenant, part of the Black Stone, and what was the other device? And another crazy religious element. Combine them to create this singularity bomb.
Okay.
So, in doing that, that kind of led some people to discover or to believe that the Indian pantheon or the Indian pantheon, the Indian pantheon exists still trapped in Adru's bubble. He effectively created what is known as the Perpetual Garden Party, and all of the gods of the Indian mythos are trapped in an English tea party in India, in some kind of weird realm, but they're trapped there, which is why he was able to steal the singularity bomb or create the singularity bomb and attempt to destroy them and become his own being, or his own god. But he failed miserably because a group of heroes obviously stopped him.
Ah,
A perpetual
okay.
garden party.
Yeah,
So
quite like the idea of a Perpetual Garden Party. It's a dangerous place because if you go there, you could end up getting sucked in and sitting down, drinking tea with Kali, Brahma, and stay there forever.
Wowzer.
It's just a way in which I could just use the one guy and not have the rest of them turn up.
Right.
Just trying to find. I can't remember the other bit of the Singularity Bomb, if I'm honest. But yeah, so that's that.
Singularity Barn. Ben Stone.
That's it, the Ben Stone, the tip of the Great Pyramid, which
That's it.
controls magic, which is buried in under Glastonbury Tor.
Yeah. Which we don't know.
You don't know, no. So those three elements create this super-powered weapon that can destroy time itself, collapse all the universes.
right. Well, I've been searching on the internet, and it seems that the Swat Valley is in northwest India, actually Pakistan, more like.
Yep.
It's yeah, in the mountains. Looks like north, quite near Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and Pakistan.
Yes, it'd be a wild country.
So Swat Valley is where we might find this stupa in the Andandiri of the. Did you say Andandiri?
Yeah. It's actually the Khyber Pass is in the Swat Valley.
Yes, and there's the Swat River.
Yeah. Made famous by the carry on up the Khyber.
Yeah.
Terrible death. It was horrendous. We got punished something rotten as we got killed coming out of the first time we invaded Afghanistan. So Afghanistan is a place where empires are crushed.
Yeah. Yep.
We've had a pop twice, didn't do that well. Russia's had a pop, didn't do that well. America's had a pop, didn't do that well.
No.
In fact, half NATO had a pop and couldn't do it. Stayed there 20 years. Within 2 days, they'd come back out of the mountains and took place over again.
Too mountainous, too dusty.
Carpet bombing. Where does the heroin come from? It comes from Afghanistan. So within 20 years, you would have expected them to have destroyed or stopped the poppy growth and the heroin production in Afghanistan in those 20 years. Yet overnight, within 2 days, the whole thing's back up and running again. You're like, well, what did you actually do? Anyway, that's the grand scheme of things. Is it's a place where empires are crushed.
Go to die.
So, going there, you have to, you know what you're going in for.
And sorry, just one question. You, in relation to this, you mentioned the Andandiri.
So that's the let me get that bit up again. Andan, Andan, Dheri.
Ah, got it. Okay. Yeah.
I cannot guarantee Andan and then Dheri. 2 words. I cannot guarantee that was not made up by Lynn Hardy. But that is the location of the mirror.
Okay.
It's the ancient. So the valley was a major center of early Buddhism of the ancient civilization of Gandhara. That's why it's there.
Hmm.
I guess that's where she found that bit of information. Gandhara. Well, it's just.
We either
Okay.
need to try and find some sort of bang on global coordinates for it, or we
Yep.
pick something nearby.
Hmm.
So the first thing, Ref, is there anything on the internet that gives us some decent locational coordinates that we can use on the Antikythera device?
The stupa of Andheri is located 7 kilometers north of Chakradar Bridge near the village. You can Google it. Can't say it. You can Google it. Yeah. So it does it. So she has actually. So if you go to Tibetan, so the stupa of Andanderi. That's it. Andanderi. And I'll say it one more time. Andanderi. Andanderi, an important Buddhist site, is located 7 kilometers north of Chakdara Bridge near the village of Uk.
Yeah,
According to
I got
Buddhist
it.
pilgrim Miaozang, the site was attached to a famous legend about Buddha. According to this legend, in order to save his people from famine, Buddha changed himself into a great serpent lying dead in the valley. Starving people cut a piece of his body and fed themselves. Archaeologists have found the stupa near the monastery with 500 pieces of Gandhara scripture were recovered from the site. 3 kilometers from Andanderi Stupa is a Hindu Shari fort. It's located now in ruins. So yes, it's famous.
Yes, I've
Does
found, guys. I've found, Andanderi, and it's on the Swat River tributary.
On the what, sorry?
Swat River tributary.
Hmm.
So that'll be in the Swat Valley.
The ResearchGate has got a plan of the. I agree with that. They've got a plan of the Andanderi Stupa. Probably photographs as well.
So if there's a so it'll be like a Buddhist site.
Yeah, so it'll be there'll be a degree of lots of religious. You can't go and desecrate it. Well, not that it hasn't stopped the British desecrating for hundreds of years. But you know, anything you steal, you could put in the British Museum. I mean, donate to the British Museum.
For safekeeping.
For safekeeping. Those natives don't know what they don't know how to look after the stuff they've had for hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah, crazy. So,
Okay.
where would you like to go? Field trip. Where would you like to go?
Well, it's going to have to be there, isn't it?
Oh, that's what my inclination would be. Go there, try and find this mirror, and then try and use the mirror to look at or examine those 3 sites.
Yeah.
The alternative being to physically visit each of those 3 sites in turn. But
yeah, I'd forgotten that we actually needed to get this device. No, let's see if we can set the Antikythera device for a location as near as possible to the stupa.
So it's in a valley. It's a kind of segments of the buildings are ruined. There's some segments that have been repaired. The stupa still exists. Looking around on Google Earth, you highlight a grove of trees, some half a mile close by, that you think dropping yourself into there would be less conspicuous than just popping up out the place.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Dialing in the code, and pop. You're in the grove of trees in the Swat Valley up the Khyber Pass. A couple of things you notice: there's no cell signal.
Oh, well.
So we just jumped, did we?
Yeah, just put
Yeah.
like time travel. Pop. You're
Oh.
there.
Sorry, weren't you ready?
Terry, for goodness sake, you watched me dialing it in.
I'll finish my sandwich. Do you? You have invaded Pakistan, the Swat Valley.
Hey.
And looking at, I think this is the actual site on Google Maps.
Let's get Google Maps on. Where's Google Maps?
I've got it.
That's maps.
And apparently there's still some, I think it's some Buddhist ruins. And in Derry.
Yep. Next to the superstore. The superstore. It's funny. Where's there?
Oh, there's I don't know.
Yeah, that's. Never did think to bring any binoculars.
So, Anadiri, that's actually quite a good representation of the drawing I saw. So you're going to turn up. Looks like there's some to the left. There might be graves, and a little bit further up there is what looks like there's like a row of trees and a little bobble of trees. So you're about 500 yards away.
Well, shall we approach?
Yeah.
So there is a superstore, or there is a shopping centre that's just in front of, up from Ananderi, but creeping your way through the trees, past what looks like maybe either graves or trees, you can then look into the site of Andanderi. It's empty and in ruins, but it looks like a kind of a pyramid-esque structure with what should have been on top a stupa, but that is the remnants of the stupa on Andanderi. Where would you like to go?
Are we trying to keep it all nice and quiet, boys? Shall we be checking for locals and goat herders and trying to stay out of the way?
Are there people about?
There was a little boy with a stick herding goats, and you you jumped out of the trees in, I don't say gaudy costumes, but you stick out like sore thumbs. And he's like just walking along tapping the goats, and he's kind of like still tapping as the goats just moved on, just staring at you as you kind of move past. It's almost like he's got a straw hanging out of his mouth, and it's just like dangling. And as you kind of like, what the fuck? You see that? You're like, I'll do. You realise that you didn't download Pakistan. What's that word? What's that? Yes, Pakistani, the language app for Google Translate. So you have no mechanism to talk to these people.
Right.
so you
Well,
can't communicate with them.
Yeah, fair enough.
I cannot remember whether. No, we're going to say Mercury Man doesn't have a universal translator because that's just.
no, I don't.
I got to have some fun.
Well,
So there's nobody about. This isn't like a major. It should be a major tourist site, but it's just if you look at the imagery, it's just off the road. It's not. This isn't. There's not a big car park.
well,
Big
I
car park. No,
think
it's all
I'll.
great.
Well, so much for stealth, but I'm going to casually just walk around these ruins, and in particular, I want to go on top and just see if there's any
So
loose
it's like
stones or
a.
any way inside the structure.
It's like the collapsed pyramid or the half-built pyramid. It's a kind of a ziggurat, steps going up, and the stupa as long as kind of collapsed in on itself. But you're standing on top of the kind of you get the it sort of feels like it should be a pyramid, to be honest. It's has
Yes.
that kind of Mexican ziggurat or that kind of feel.
So that's why I want to get on top and see where it's collapsed in, if there's any
So
way in that might be
it's
not
can't you go
immediately
intangible?
obvious.
I know you can't go intangible. It's what's his name can go intangible.
Well, yeah.
Searching the area, you can see lots of. Obviously, it's brick upon brick upon brick. You can see small holes and rat holes, but also where the brick has moved slightly. You think you might be able to elongate a finger down there and stretch.
Yes.
You think that you could use your phone as a light source, but assuming you've got you've got control over your body, I'm assuming you can remove your eye and regrow it in the base of your finger, holding your phone as a light source, and then move the whole thing underground and see. Because obviously you can't connect. You couldn't do a FaceTime with that phone. I'm assuming you've got you can stretch ability, so I'm assuming that's possible. It would be a neat trick.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be somewhat challenging, but if that's
Takes a moment to obviously pop your eye out and move it down your body and put it at the end of your finger, but you can elongate and stretch and metamorphose your body. So
I'll only do
why
that
not?
once I've extended my finger down, because otherwise I might be poking my eye into the side of it.
Gosh, I got shit in my eye. It's dusty down there. So essentially, what you're doing is you're holding your phone with a light source to see, and you can see that there's a tunnel, and it goes out into a corridor. As you stretch it even further, the corridor goes down some steps and ends in a chamber where there is a statue of a Buddha sitting atop a coiled dragon, and he is holding a shiny mirror.
It's a mirror we want.
Guys, I think this must be it. I see it.
I think I cracked it. No.
One bar, lights flashing.
Does it look like the mirror will?
It looks like a small
Will it fit?
foot. No, you're not going to be able to pull it out.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's
You
got to be
another. You need to find another way down.
That's got to be it. Well, I'll withdraw and then chat with the others. there's something down there, and I'm certain that's what we're looking for.
When you say down there, what have you managed to see?
Well, there's like a statue holding a small mirror, and this is the site. And
So now we just need to find a way in.
yes, so and how loose where the gap where I've just extended myself down through? Is that surrounded by rubble, or how does
Yeah,
it would
so
it be to
you
widen
could,
that?
you think you could widen it enough to open up a tunnel.
Perhaps we just need to make it wide enough. I mean, would I be able to reach far enough to try and grab the mirror,
You've got,
or
the
do
problem you
we?
have is to see it, you have got to use the camera.
Okay.
So you can't grab it and.
Okay. Well, we. What sort of guys? I think we need to make either tunnel through and start here where there's already a hole. By the way, I'm gonna just look around to see if there's anyone approaching. Is that boy still about?
No, he's gone. You can't see him at all.
And no one else?
No.
I suspect we shouldn't waste too much time here.
Terry,
What do you think, guys?
have you got any physical ideas as to how you could possibly make a hole in this wall?
I could punch my way through, I guess. At least have a go at trying to punch my way through.
I was not necessarily suggesting punching, because the mirror's
Yeah.
on the other side.
You don't think if you go full crystal, you don't think it would take you too long to move blocks out of the way, not in a violent, aggressive way, but just pulling them out of the way.
Yeah, I can do that. Start doing, sort of like look at it, taking that, tie it up.
So you start pulling out, and you make a kind of a 4-foot hole in which you can crawl. You get into the tunnel.
I can't do that. I can't sort of like check. As I say, if I remember right, if I remember how I did it, body sort of like just forms into your hand, just forms into sort of like becomes crystal. It doesn't. You can't manipulate the shape of your finger, sort of thing.
No.
No. Yeah. No. It's.
But you punch stuff out of the way.
Yeah, because all I was thinking was maybe I could sort of like, sort of like shape a fingernail or something and use it as a blade edge, diamond sharp blade edge, but not going to work. Not how I imagined the character. If I had a thought about it, I would have done it. Okay, I'm going to start removing blocks to try and get in to this place. I can get the mirror.
Okay, so you pull away some blocks and you kind of make a 4-foot hole, allowing you, and you do this quite quietly. You're not making a lot of noise, and you make a 4-foot hole, enabling you to crawl, stoop into the chamber of the Andandiri.
Yeah.
Where you see the sitting Buddha upon a dragon holding the Milong.
What's the betting the moment we remove the mirror? The thing's going to come to life.
Well, I hadn't thought that, but now you've mentioned it.
Yeah, well, I mentioned it.
Damn fine idea.
Why didn't I figure that? Because I did. Yeah, so what do you reckon, guys?
Well, I've got no skills in this sort of thing whatsoever. But shall we have a good look at the sort of... Is the Buddha holding it, did you say?
Yes, he's kind of holding it, looking at it.
Shall we have a quick look at the fingers, the arm, try to look for any signs that it could be a movable arm, that it might trigger a trap?
So that it all looks stone. The arms, it's all one. It's almost as if you're looking at two pieces. The Buddha sitting on the dragon is one piece of carved out, one piece of stone. The mirror is a metal mirror sitting in his hand.
Just a second. Just a second. Is it a hand mirror or is it a big sort of like? Fuck was that?
Like a motorbike.
Sounds like a motorbike.
Sorry, yeah, it's quite loud in this front room.
What I'm saying, is it like a vanity mirror or is it?
Yes, it's almost like a mirror with a handle.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying, because I must admit I thought you were talking about something that was sort of like 4 foot high, 2 foot wide sort of thing.
No, it's just a small mirror.
Right. Okay. Just chop the hand off.
You can lift it out. You could simply lift the mirror out.
Yeah. Is you say the Buddha's looking directly into it?
Yeah.
Just can't help thinking of the what's it, the Medusa that turns to stone if it sees its own reflection.
Mm.
I just can't help thinking of something like that.
One of the Gorgon sisters.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Pull the mirror out.
Pull the mirror out.
Yep.
Nothing happens. And you find yourself staring into a mirror that is swirling.
I'm going to shout to the other two before I get totally zonked out.
The mirror, it's swirling, almost waiting for you to command it.
Should we do this here, or should we?
Do we know how?
Should we get out of here?
Yeah. Do we know how to use it? I mean, is there sort of like myths about how it can be used, sort of thing, or?
You would simply, you assume, simply say where you want to look.
Take me to, show me. Okay, so where did we want to look, guys?
The Bamba Castle.
Yeah.
Back.
Actually, there's an easier way to do that. Go mirror. Show me Lancelot's location.
So it shows it in the past, and it'll show it. So there'll be a time lag on it. You don't know how long, but there is a time lag.
Okay.
The mirror begins to swirl, and you start to see it kind of pop locations, almost like it's not 100% sure. As if it's kind of searching its notes, trying to find the exact location. There we go. It's kind of popping around. No, that's clearly the wrong page. And it settles on. Oh, that's because it's here. That's because I'm looking at the wrong page. It settles on a very pretty young Arab-looking woman.
Okay.
She's very, very blue eyes, and she speaks with perfect English, but with a hint of a Middle Eastern accent. And she says, "I am nobody, yet I seek your help. For someone who is somebody, my Lord Zagreb seeks from someone who is somebody. My Lord Zagreb seeks the pleasure of your company. If it pleases, come to the pleasure house of Ahmed Abin in Valletta."
Pleasure house of Ahmed Amin. And this is supposed to be something that's happened in the
Well,
past.
weirdly, you're not seeing Lancelot, but she is talking directly to you.
Okay, so she said the Pleasure Palace in Zagreta.
Ahmed Abin in
Me.
Valletta, the pleasure
Valletta.
house. The pleasure house of Ahmed. Can't say Ahmed Abin. Ahmed Abin in Valletta.
Okay,
That's on Malta.
It is indeed.
another trip.
Now the trouble is,
So-
can we use the Antikythera device without being able to Google global coordinates? Because I've forgotten what we've been doing.
No, you need coordinates. So you can jump back to your flat, Google it.
And then go from there.
Yeah. So you jump back to your flat, Google it, and you can Google the pleasure house of Ahmed Abin in Valletta.
Okie dokie.
This has got to be real. If I know Kevin, this place actually exists.
Location of so we've been told or invited or told to go to this pleasure house.
Yeah. If you can't find it, it's the pleasure house has in fact been, it no longer exists. It was pulled down, and St John's Cathedral was built on top of it.
And Abid, ABID.
Ahmed.
Oh, Ahmed,
A-
sorry.
Ahmed Abid. Ahmed Abid.
I'm going wrong. ABID.
Abin. Ahmed
Abin.
Abin.
In Valletta.
Valletta.
Must admit,
Okay.
let me take Valletta out just in case that helps. But... No, I'm not getting anything.
It's possible that that was just written on the thing in Valletta.
Let me just double check. The Pleasure House of AHMED Ahmed ABIN for November.
Yeah, let me
Nothing's shouting out on the internet. Okie dokie. All right.
Well, should we take this mirror, this Melong, with us? Do we think we'll need it again? I guess we could always come back, yeah?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think we take it. I think
Yeah,
we take it because
Have you got some sort of knapsack, Terry?
hang on a minute. Let me have a look.
I'll use one of mine. It's all right.
All right, if you've got plenty of room, your sandwiches in.
It's a very expensive women's knapsack. It'll hold an awful lot of lipstick and makeup, and probably mirrors. Okay, so I'll pick up a nicely sized shoulder bag of the feminine persuasion.
Cool.
I'll be able to fit the Antikythera device in here, and I'll find something protective to keep the mirror in as well.
Yeah.
So the St John's Cathedral is in Valletta. It's St John's Co-Cathedral. Not sure why it's called Cathedral. Oh, history. Pretty sure
Right.
it was on. I'm pretty sure when I went there, it was that was a thing that was mentioned in one of the little legends that are floating around the actual cathedral. Yeah, I don't think it says in the Wikipedia, but it says it was built on an old pleasure house. I think that's why it jumps out as being. I quite like that. Quite
Okay.
amusing. Quite amused me. I wrote it down somewhere, but
Well,
so
let's teleport back to the apartment before the locals come
so you get
in.
the appointment, and you find you can download Maltese onto your apps in case you need to speak to anyone. Although most of them speak British English.
Okay.
Realizing there's some temperate elements to this place. It's a really horrible building. I found it really creepy. Going inside, there's lots of naked children statues.
All right.
Really, really creepy. I found it a bit like it's some kind of pedo palace. It was really, yeah. And there's a picture of a slave, a statue of a slave with chains with a knight stamping on his head. Yeah, it's quite disturbing, the place. It's not. But yeah, that's the Catholic Church for you. So you arrive in the vestibule of the St. John's Co-Cathedral in Valletta.
Okay.
It's hot.
And depending what time of day it is, there won't be any bugger about.
Nope. You are. Let me just get rid of these. I don't need any of these up here. Who am I? No, so, arriving inside, there's a moment of calm.
Yeah.
As you arrive, there's nobody about. Looking through the main vestibule to the pews and wherever is it pews? The main area where people sit to be told stuff. I'm not up on my church genealogy.
The pews are the benches.
Yeah, that's it. Pews. There is a chap sitting alone in a pew. He doesn't look up. But he says, "I met him once. John, nice chap. Quite obsessed with trying to drown you, though. It's probably why the Sabian." Yeah, that's quite funny.
Yeah.
It's probably why the Sabians are very good to me. He pauses. You don't know me, but you may have heard of me. He stands up for a split second as he stands and turns. The light kind of comes through the window and hits him, and you see for almost for a moment a fleeting glance of a knight in shining armor with a white cloak, and then it kind of goes. And there's an old man in a suit. He says, "My name is Lancelot, and I need your help."
We're here to help, but we need your help in return.
I need to get to the Mirrorlands. And the only way to do that is a friend of mine, an old friend of mine, who had a
lady
key.
in a painting?
No, not mother.
Joseph.
Joseph Cartophilius. He has a key.
The Wandering Jew.
Yep. No wandering no
wait.
more. He in his tomb he has a key. That key is the very opens a doorway through a dark realm in which I can enter and return to the Mirrorlands and save Dionysus.
Did you say
Ah.
tomb?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought Cartophilius was alive.
Did you? Who told you that?
By all accounts, your mother.
It is true that Cartophilius can be found and is still wandering the earth. But there is also a tomb with his name on it.
Which one is the real one?
Who can say?
Hmm.
I can give you 2 locations. Unfortunately, I believe one you may not be able to find unless you know the way there.
What are the locations?
If you go to the Anatolia, if you go to the Anatolia region of Turkey, to a place called Göbekli Tepe, there you will find a tunnel which takes you to the underground cities of Turkey. In the underground city, there is a temple of Zoroaster. That is where the man calling himself Joseph Cartophilius, the last of the first men, the oldest being on Earth, sits.
Haven't we come up against the first men before? Or am I thinking of something else?
Something else. Not you. Oh, yeah, they mentioned the first men. Joseph Cartophilius is one of the first men. However, the location of his tomb I know where it is, and some of your, what do you call yourselves, superheroes, have been there and returned, but only they know of the exact location. I talk of the Anubis Temple, where I believe the peacemakers, or the group call themselves the peacemakers, may have recently returned.
Peacemakers. Do we?
I
They
didn't know
returned.
they
So
were
the
missing.
peacemakers
Do we know them?
disappeared. Yes, peacemakers disappeared in the 1920s, whilst hanging around with Howard Carter, digging
Yeah.
for Tutankhamun. They vanished. Recently, they returned from the very edge of space in a weird spaceship, having been trapped in what they called the Anubis Temple. Most of what was said, or what was talked about with the Starlet Pack, was classified, so you don't know the full details, and you don't know where they currently are. But given they had links to Dice and Solo, you do have a magic acorn as a communication device.
Yeah, and Dice shouldn't have left the country after all we did alter the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we wake up our little sapling?
Yes. Perhaps we
Actually,
should.
We've probably
So
left it
you've
at the flat.
yeah, I think arguments say you're not going to be carrying it.
No.
It's got, so essentially it's a little plant with a number of leaves. You take a leaf off and that activates the contacting dryad who's with dice.
Okay. Worth a go.
Would you like to come with us now, St. Lancelot?
I will wait here for your return.
Okay, I hope we don't keep you waiting too long then. Anything can happen, and we go off paddle.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Generally does.
No. Pop, you're back in your flat, trying to find where the acorn is. You find the acorn plant. There is a couple of leaves on it. By pulling off one of the leaves, you can contact Dryad, who can put you in contact with Agent.
Oh, we've had Agent White, Agent Greenwood, I think.
Let's go with Agent Green. Oh, what's the other one? Greenwood Knight and one of them had a cool name. Well, they all have quite cool names. Agents.
You didn't have something like Coriolis or something, did you?
Oh, could be other Courier. That might be.
I don't know why that's ringing a bell, but
Must have some effect.
Here we go. Yes, Greenwood, Knight, Coriolis, and White. So let's go with Coriolis. So Coriolis comes on the leaf. There's a kind of almost like a psychic connection momentarily. Oh, where have you been? It's been a crazy few weeks. It seems as if everything's been sort of resolved and fixed apart from the trees.
yeah. When you say a crazy few weeks, what's the date?
So she gives you a date, and it's about 6 weeks after you left.
At the moment.
It's just time has just gotten away from you.
I never even thought to check it when Vlad was on the computer. Okay. Something tells me I better send an email to work and tell them I need a few more weeks leave.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief.
So Coriolis says, how things going? How can we help? What's the sit rep? So you run through, the sit rep of what you've done in the last whatever, and you get to your final point now where you are asking questions. So it's been about half an hour on the phone, just discussing what you had done, rather than go through that whole process again.
Yeah. So we've been roped into trying to sort out the mystery of the mirrors.
All right, that would be good. They are very, very useful. Were very, very useful.
And give her a brief rundown of what's happened so far.
Yeah.
Downplay the damage to the stupor.
Gloss over that.
And now we've met this guy that tells us that he is Lancelot.
Okay.
There's
a moment when she accepts that time traveler. Lancelot. Okay. Ancient gods and
We kind of want to believe him, but the last time we believed somebody, we got trapped in a time loop.
Yes, you did.
But the point is, he's mentioned somebody called the Peacemakers.
Ah, okay. The Peacemakers were a predate the Golden Heroes, the Squadron UK. That they were the preeminent British superheroes what is it called? Mid-war, pre-war, post-war, interwar. In the
Interwar.
interwar period,
Yeah,
they
I'm with you.
were made up of some interesting chaps, including John Bull, who later went on to create the Golden Heroes.
All right.
So
Um,
the Peacemakers, they vanished in the 1920s whilst helping Howard Carter. They returned not that long ago from space. Let me just get the more information. You can hear it tapping away. Okay, hear that person tapping away. So, as part of their debrief, they somehow teleported from under the Egyptian sand to the far end of the known universe, into a what we're assuming is a Dyson sphere. And the way they describe it, the Anubis temple is in fact a temple to ancient. I'm not sure whether you're up on your aliens, but the Cry gods. There was a god of the Cry, dog-headed beings. It was in the center of like almost a black hole, and the way they described it, there were spiral stairs going up to a doorway. As you came out of the doorway, you're on a piece of rock floating within a planet, in a hollow planet. There were lots of ships, some ships docked. They stole one, flew out through the planet, having met up with a group calling themselves calling themselves Star something. Can't find the. Oh, what do they call themselves?
not the Star Guard.
Yes, the Star Guard. And they were talking about cosmic dragons and mundane eggs and what have you. So essentially, they came back to Earth. We debriefed them, and they were kind of didn't know what to do with them. So we put them on kind of Dice's secret mission roster. They kind of fell off the radar for people looking at them because superheroes, time travel. That's how we kind of spun the story, and they're forgotten about. They're currently. Let me have a go. Oh yeah, they're currently on a mission. Yeah, where are they? Okay, so. Yes, I'm authorised to tell you this. The Starlight Pact, or the Starlight Pact 2, have gone missing. They were on a secret mission for us in the Anatolia area of Turkey. Turkey had contacted Dice, reports of jinn in the area attacking locals. So we were initially sent in the Starlight Pact, who have a unique set of abilities to be discreet. Well, they have vanished, and peacemakers have been sent in to try and locate the Starlight Pact.
So strangely enough,
Funny you should mention that. Yeah.
That region is where we've been pointed towards as the next stage of our, let's say, investigations. And now you're telling us that this Starlight Pact 2, the sequel to something I don't even know about in the first instance, have gone to the same area and are now missing.
Well, the original Starlight Pact had various links to some dark being called Necmon. There was guy with a magical sword.
Moonblade.
There was a woman who was a cat-powered being.
Ramalkin.
There was the X-Man, the half cyborg being,
Yep.
and Paragon. Four of them.
Unless you want to count Balthazar, Joshua X.
Oh yes, Balthazar, the son of allegedly son of Necron. So the original one, the original group, kind of died out. A new group took over the name. Can't remember them. Arc-like.
Oh, crumbs.
Second
Yeah.
Start Acts.
Oh,
So anyway, they fought Necromon, and we believe. Well, they seem to think they might have destroyed him in Borley Rectory some time ago. So they were sent on. That's the wrong team. They were sent on to do this mission because they have a more of a esoteric, supernatural kind of twist on. So the current team is Cyborg, PSY, Bill, Dr. Salem, Arclight, and Wisp. Oh, and of course, the infamous Goshawk. Do you know who Goshawk are, don't you? I quite like this
Rings a
story.
bell. Rings a bell.
Goshawk
in terms of
is
your notes, yes, I do know them. Yeah.
when the Rosenbergs were executed in America for selling, allegedly selling secrets to the Russians. They somehow merged and became Goshawk, with our links to what's his name? Jackson Stone. Oh, the Tomahawk. I forgot his name. What's his name?
American Eagle.
American Eagle. With our links to American Eagle, we were able to bring them to the UK, or bring it Goshawk to the UK, and assisted with a rather aged Carla Linguistia create a new version of Starlight Pact.
Oh, right, okay.
But they had some, or the original Starlight Pact had some weird links. One of them, the guy with the sword, what's his name again?
Val
Sword
Rathis was
Man.
Moonblade.
Yeah, so
He was-
he seemed to claim that sword, the Moonblade, came from another time, a pre-dawn Earth, some kind of Albion. I don't know. These super. Do you know what you guys are like in your backstories? They can change them every 5 minutes. So anyway, so that's they had a big fight with the British Coven, guy called him Maximilian. He was being controlled by this Necromon or Necmon in the town of Deadwood, in America, and they had a big fight with him. Mage disappeared. Mage, and I think he became Mr. Magic. I can't. It's there's far too many. So Mr. Magic from the
National Defence
National
League.
Defence League. He was an apprentice to a guy called Bernard Kransky, aka Mage, and it was Mage that Mage had some kind of links with Shadow Dancer. They're all interlinked, but so in essence, this group of kind of supernatural magic and science team went to Anatolia to go and hunt down what the Turkish were telling us were jinn.
Genies, yeah.
So they went there and vanished. We don't know exactly what happened, but we do know that the peacemakers are on site having a look. We're pretty sure it has nothing to do with Bernard Kransky or the Americans' niggling suspicion that we may know where American Eagle is.
Do we?
Yes. Our understanding is that John Ball hit him in time, gave him a new identity, and he was running around time doing something. But we have him. Oh, we have Gunslinger as well. I think Gunslinger's not Gunslinger. What's the other chap called? Rocket Man? No, Rocket Man's the traitor. I'm quite good at remembering some of you superheroes, but occasionally, new ones pop up that I don't know. Like the Sons of Liberty, I couldn't name half of those. I couldn't name 4 of them, actually. Although I suspect after what's happening in Camp Hero, I don't think there'll be many left. Because they've got some kind of nasty virus going on over there.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so essentially this person's talking as if, you're not exactly nerd fessing it, but it's like it's just matter of fact. You're going through the chronology of Captain America's adventures, and then how that links to somebody else's adventure. So yeah, it kind of jumping around with just matter of facting it. Sorry, matter of fact, discussing what's quite off the cuff, really.
Smashing. Thank you. Anybody got any ideas what she's on about?
Well, I have something to reveal, friends. I actually came to Earth on the ship that the Imperial peacemakers used to return to Earth.
Get off.
I did.
You are the first that I've told about this. So I trust you'll keep it to yourselves.
That's so sweet, Vlad.
And
why?
Effectively, I was a stowaway on that ship. I was fleeing my home world.
Oh. Why?
Well, that I'd rather not go into right now.
I just don't want you to say that, some totally invincible space aliens are going to turn up looking for you one day. That's roughly what I'm getting at.
Yeah, he looks a bit sheepish at this point.
Oh, good grief.
Well, let's just say, what do you fugitive of sorts? I was might say I'm a fugitive of sorts in my home world, so hopefully they don't know how I escaped or where I ended up.
I'm beginning to think I hope they don't.
Yeah.
Is that right? Have I got that right, Kevin?
Yes.
And
so the Imperial Peacemakers were Parallax, the leader, Amp, Valkyrie, Sentinel, and the Thunder Twins, Leviathan and Behemoth.
Do we know, or can we find out anything about them in terms of powers or who they were?
No.
No? Okay.
Because for some bizarre reason, despite them being my very first team, I didn't write anything about them. The Thunder Twins are just, I can't remember.
It sounds like they'd have classified files anyway.
Yeah. I'd have to remember what their powers are. I will have to remember what their powers are. Let me rephrase that. So yes, there you have it.
Interesting.
So the very
Not
people
sure.
that we actually need to speak to are already where we want to be. It's kind of useful.
In the weirdest of coincidences, or is it?
Yes. Does make me slightly suspicious.
It's probably
But-
just synchronicity.
So there are in the Anatolia region. There is, from what you have been told about Göbekli Tepe and a temple of Zoroaster and underground cities, there is one rather famous underground city, Derinkuyu, which is something like 8 stories deep,
Wow.
and
Yes.
at the bottom there is a temple of Derinkuyu, Derinkuyu.
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 I think we had
Hmm.
it came up previously, I think.
Yes, so Göbekli Tepe, which leads to the underground city in Turkey. So there are Derinkuyu is the big one. There are a number of others, and all indication is that there are tunnels between them. And whilst the archaeologists say ignore what the Zoroastrian religion says, they're just tunnels underground. The Zoroastrian tradition is that there was an event, possibly an ice age or an attack by foreign invaders, and the Zoroastrian people built a city underground to survive this catastrophe, and then came out. It's quite simple, but the archaeologists say that that's rubbish. That don't believe what the religion said, despite it saying specifically there was this event, and they built a tunnel underground. At the bottom of Derinkuyu is a temple to Zoroaster.
I mean, there's only a couple of pictures on this site I'm looking at the moment, but it's phenomenal to think that ancient peoples have dug all that out.
And it was found, but they were just digging a tunnel. Darin, can't spell Derinkuyu. Yes, they just built a. I think there was not a goat herder. That was the Dixie Scrolls. Guy, I think was he doing a an extension or something? It was just a weird way of just finding it. It was in the 60s, I think it was found, and then they obviously found more, a bit like Göbekli Tepe. Now, Göbekli Tepe was just a stone was sticking out. But yeah, ancient. It's a fantastic map, and you're looking for the temples at the very, very bottom.
Oh, here we go. Rediscovered in 1963 by an unknown local man who kept losing his chickens. He fell into a small crevasse, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Upon some digging, the Turkish man unearthed a dark passageway. It was the first of more than 600 entrances found within private homes that led to the subterrestrial city of Derinkuyu. So that was that. Chickens.
And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels, 7, 8 levels.
Under this picture, it says Derinkuyu is made up of 18 levels of tunnels.
So I'm looking at the original map. So yeah, it's
There
nuts.
isn't like a proper blueprint of the site, I'm afraid, but it does say 18 levels, going more than 85 meters underground.
I mean, that's some serious digging.
Yeah, this picture's amazing. Columns set in the center of wide arched tunnels.
That put
All
that put Fritzl to shame.
It looks stunning. I
And
can
there
even
are
see
others.
the electricity cables for the lights.
Yeah, and there are other underground cities. They could seal the place. Yeah, they could seal the place with these rolling boulders.
Hmm.
Had livestock down there. It's built for it's the ultimate escape bunker, or Armageddon bunker, whatever. It's weird how the Zoroastrian religion says with this big big catastrophic event, so we built a tunnel underground to live, and it went away, and we came out with free, kind of thing.
You just kept on digging.
Yes, yeah, that's not an art. That's not a hobby. It's not like doing a coral cast or anything. It's a. So anyway, you need to get to the bottom of this place.
Yeah.
To the temple.
So.
Or at least you can liaise with the peacemakers. So I think that's a perfect place to leave it.
Okay.
Smashing stuff, Kevin. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kevin.
It's good to get back.
Into it.
Thanks, Kevin.
No problem.
Actually,
not too convoluted.
No,
no more than usual.
Forward, Kev. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. You're an absolute genius.
I think the using the anti-Kithra device to jump and teleport you to places is much quicker than having to get on a plane and fly. That seems
much more.
It's easier. It's easier. It's
otherwise
more comic book.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Until it gets to a point where I've had enough of that and I want to slow things down. You go, you've lost the anti-Kithra device. No bloody fault. But yeah, there's lots of weird little historical elements that you can link, sort of. So there was a throwaway comment about Dionysus and mirrors. Okay, that's it. That's who he is. Dump. And then, Lady of Shallot. More mirrors. The Tibetan mirror I found recently, so that's why you use the Tibetan mirror. But again, that's a several months to get to Tibet, and then to get out of Tibet, and then you got to get to Valletta, and it's just simpler having the time travel.